Welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. Let's take a look at who's in my green room tonight. We've got some great guests. My first one is 200 horsepower of pure meat wrapped in denim. It's the host of the Grand Tour and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the one and only Jeremy Clarkson, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy back in town. Great to see you here, and you look well. Next up, we've got everyone's favourite Spice Girl. It's Baby Spice herself, Emma Bunton, ladies and gentlemen. That's true, Emma, you know it's true. Plus, and I'm very excited, he's on the show, we have the BAFTA-nominated comic actor from the brilliant show Time Wasters. He's from the sketch show Famalam. It's the very funny Mr. Samson Kao. Samson looking good. Looking fly, if I may use that term. I'm also joined by a brilliantly smart and original stand-up comic. She's also an award-winning author. It's the hilarious Sarah Pascoe. And finally on the programme, we've got some fabulous music for you this evening from homegrown talent who've gone on to dominate the world. I'm delighted they're with us on the programme. It's Mumford & Sons. They'll be playing live, and I'll be chatting to Marcus and Winston towards the end of the show. Now, we start this week with news from America. You know, if you go out with Americans and there's food left over at the end of the meal and they ask for a doggy bag, OK? Which is caught over here. Well, commuters on the New York subway have been taking that phrase to a whole new level, because you used to be able to take dogs on the subway, just let them walk on with you, but they've changed the rules now, and it states that no person may bring any animals on unless it's enclosed in a container. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? But so commuting dog lovers have been getting creative, and that's why we've seen a lot of different dog bags out in New York now. Have a look at this one here. You see, that's the kind of thing. It's a genuine picture. He's sort of saying, nothing to see here, just a dog in a bag. I'm not doing anything wrong. But he could be doing something wrong. We wouldn't know till we took him out of the bag, would we? Check this one out. Look at that. Well, you say that, but what if it's just the head in the bag? Of course it's not, it's the whole dog. But here's my favourite. This one's amazing. Look at this. See, that's cheating. That's not a dog in a bag. That's a dog wearing a bag, like a suit. Look, and it's an IKEA bag. He went for the meatballs, he came home wearing the bag. All right, perhaps not surprisingly now, these doggy bags are so popular that some less honest people have been taking advantage and using them to dodge paying their own fares on the subways. Look at this shocking photograph we found here. That's shocking, isn't it? Shall we get my first guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Right on there. He's an old school's man. If he were an aftershave, it would be called Lynx Doncaster. It is the fabulous Jeremy Clarkson.
How are you? You look so well. I am well.
You sit near me here somewhere. Jeremy, doesn't Jeremy look very well, ladies and gentlemen? He looks super well, and you've lost a load of weight.
2 stone in the last 2 months.
Wow. What have you been doing? What happened?
I went on a gap year. I didn't know I went on a gap year to Indochina. They've just got a better diet out there. Plus, I had a bicycle rather than a car.
Wow, well, actually, see, this is the way forward.
No, it isn't. It's terrible. No, cycling's not a good thing to do, because I've cut my arm all broken as a result of it.
Yeah.
But I did lose a lot of weight.
So you were cycling everywhere? You were...
Yeah, where I was staying was separated from the small town by this... Well, there was a mountain, but it was much bigger than Everest. It was only 3 kilometres, and I cycled over it every day.
Wow.
So I said, I can't have a drink unless I cycle into town.
Ah. Hold it, who enforced that rule?
Me.
So you decided...
I made my own rule. I can't have a beer unless I've cycled into town.
So is this a conscious effort to say, OK, I'd like to live a little bit longer,
fit.
I want to get fit and I want to...
No, because if you live longer, you just got to tube up your nose, you're an imposition to your family, to the States. No, nobody wants to live longer. Well, it's not like if you could live longer and be 14, then that would be great. But you're not. You're living longer, you're 85. Okay. Nothing works.
So you're 59 now?
Yeah, I'm 59 now.
And you look older, I've got to be honest. So you were out there, so this was a holiday, it was a break?
Yeah, I went off to Indochina, and it was fantastic. Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia,
wow.
All just absolutely fabulous.
So did you presumably you embraced the culture?
Yeah.
Oh my, look at that.
Came back when my wrist was full.
Wow.
No, I've got a lot of bracelets.
I bet, come on, I hope you didn't get a little tattoo on your ankle. No!
No, but No, this close.
Really?
This... I actually went past the tattoo place and thought, oh, come on, come on. But then I went wrong. I got an illness. I had an abscess here, OK? And...
So what had happened?
We don't know what it was, some infection. Doing too much exercise, I suspect. It's almost certain caused a sweat and a disaster. Anyway, I've got a skin disease as well.
Oh! What's the disease?
We're not designed, British people are not designed to go to temperatures other than 57 degrees and drizzling. I came out of the sea one day while I was working, and there was this Italian guy coming out at the same time. He was about the same age as me, but he didn't look like me.
Yeah.
He looked bronzed, and his hair was immaculate and perfect, and he was chisel-jawed, and his stubble... I thought, how do you keep it like that all the time?
I don't know.
And he walked out the sea, and I thought, and no mosquitoes bitten him. Why do good-looking people never get bitten by mosquitoes? Look in Hello magazine, all those people, they never get... I'm covered in mosquito bites. I've got red up to here and then bright white with a skin disease, and then every wave knocked me over. He didn't get knocked over. Why does that happen? We should stick to being in Barnsley.
So are you a new man, though? Have you come back a new man? Are you refreshed, you're replenished, you're rejuvenated?
I'm refreshed. I'm definitely refreshed and rejuvenated. Yeah.
So, and presumably you're doing more, because the Grand Tour has been a huge success. Are you watching the Grand Tour? I hope so.
17.
Series 3. You know what I enjoyed about it? The one I enjoyed most, I think, Series 1, there were lots of bits I enjoyed, but the one where you went right across Mongolia...
Oh, yeah, that was... Proud of that.
And it was kind of a special edition, really.
Yeah.
This one, they dropped you right in the desert, the Mongolian desert.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a desert, because it was covered in herbs. All of Mongolia is covered, not all of it, but the bit we drove across is covered in herbs, so sage, rosemary, thyme. So as you walk or drive along, the smell is just fabulous.
Beautiful. And it's huge, of course.
It's massive, and it's the size of Western Europe, and it has the population of Leeds. And so and they all live in the city, so it's empty. We drove for 6 days, and we saw not a single shred of evidence that man's ever existed. Not a power line, not a wall, not a fire, nothing.
And was that a good period for reflection? Did you think about your place in the grand scheme
No,
of
we
things?
thought that they hadn't packed any drink, which they hadn't. That occupied us completely and only for 6 days. They sent some army rations, some of which were vegetarian. What's the point of that? It's not really food. And then this car in pieces, hundreds of pieces. We had to build the car and then drive out, get to civilization. But they hadn't packed any booze.
Well, it's a fabulously entertaining show. Let's have a look. This is Jeremy with the other two going across Mongolia. It's great fun.
It turned out to be a river, which we'd have to cross. Can't really get out there.
Over there we can get out.
Oh, yes. Picking my route carefully. Don't need low range. You just need somebody with skill and precision. Whoa!
Ah! That went wrong!
Jeez.
Why? Why'd you do that to us?
The rest of the day is going to be bloody miserable, you muppet. You think that's a great show. It's a fabulously entertaining hour or so TV.
It is.
I loved it.
The sad thing about those is, you Bear Grylls of the world, they all have a hotel to go to.
Yeah.
No, we had to then live in those clothes
Well,
all day.
I know that because you just complained about it the whole time.
Well, it was utterly miserable. And though I probably haven't mentioned it, there was no drink.
Yeah.
At all, of any sort.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how thrilled are you that Top Gear is nowhere near as successful now that you're not on it?
It's a hard face to pull, this one. Let me try.
Because the other guys are always very generous and always saying...
Yeah, James and Richard always say, no, it's a shame. We wish them all the best. I don't. No, I do.
You've been working, what, for 17, 18 years?
Yeah, I've been working together that
17 years.
Yeah, but we're carrying on. I mean, we're filming the next special to start, so we're off to Vietnam.
So
I've just let that out of the bag.
Do you think ahead and think, OK, there will come a time... What's your plan going forward? How much longer do you think you'll do this for? And how will you prepare for the massive hole in your life, emotionally?
What, when I don't have James May in it?
Yes.
Oh, you can come to the party.
I know. I tell you what. I think what's lovely about the show is there's a bond, and I would call it love between the three of you.
Hate.
No. You're uncomfortable with this, but it's true. I think there's a very pure and very lovely relationship of 3 men and it's obviously not sexual, but three men who genuinely love each other.
I do like their company when I'm at work.
Why don't you just admit that you love them?
Because that would be ridiculous.
But you do, though. I think you love them. One day you'll come on here and you will admit and say, you know what, you will.
I'm a raving gay.
No, it's got nothing to do with sex. I mean, if you wanted to.
The thing is, what's happening here is you're trying to drive a story out of me.
No, I'm not. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think it would be nice if you could celebrate that and we could enjoy it with you.
Yeah, no, we are deeply in love with each other.
I'm not saying that. He's missing the point. Isn't he missing the point? He's missing the point deliberately. We're deliberately missing the point, Clarkson.
I was distracted by how your hair hasn't gone grey.
Well, it's going a bit grey on the sides there.
What, where you haven't dyed it? You look like it's got Ken hair, Lego.
It's real hair. It's my own hair. It's not dyed. OK, let's talk about what a huge success you've had, and you've been a brilliant host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Have you seen me watching, Jeremy?
Thank you. No,
It's a great show. Always was a great format. You've given it a whole new life.
It makes you wonder why it went away, doesn't it, really? Because it is. I mean, there's a whole new generation now thinking, oh, well, this is a new show, which, of course, it isn't.
But it is different. Your style of presenting is very different to Tarrant. It's very different.
Yeah, he's a nicer man, I think. He had more time for idiots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are they idiots? No, they're not.
A couple of them in the first series were.
But no, you've got to put it in the context.
One of them was from, like, Barcelona, born in, and she didn't know where the Balearic Islands are.
Right.
You can fucking see them.
Well, we're going to wrap up this interview now. Before we do, I just want to show this bit, though, because this is a bit when someone asked you for your help, and you were so sure you had the right answer.
Oh,
no,
God.
Have a look at this.
No, no, you don't need to see it.
This is quite painful.
I don't need to see it.
OK, let's have a look at this. This is Jeremy.
Oh, God, this was bad.
Shoes on the other foot.
Oh, yeah.
I will slightly hesitantly go, dear, final answer. And you know, so you don't.
I'm not even going to look at the screen. That's the correct answer. It isn't. What? It is a deer. Is it not a deer? I've seen them in Africa boinging along like deers. Oh, no, you've just lost. £15,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. He lost it anyway, because he got it wrong. Yeah. I'm just defending myself now.
Yeah, because he didn't ask you for help on that one. He didn't.
I just thought, yes, he's right. I was so confident, I didn't even look down, and then I made a total prat of myself.
Yeah. Jeremy, it's great to have you back on the show. You look so wonderful. Mr. Jeremy Clarkson, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to stay here for the rest of the show, I hope. Still to come on the programme, we've got the one and only Emma Bunton. See you after the break. Welcome back to the show. Everyone has a favourite Spice Girl. I know I do. So ignore what I told the other four over the years. My genuine favourite has always been Baby Spice. Let's get her out there. It's Emma Bunton.
Thanks for having me.
Good. Emma, well, here we are. Sit yourself down. Lovely to have you back on the show.
Oh, it's good to be here.
You know, I've got to start with the thing that's been in the news at the moment, of course, is whether or not because last time you were on the show, we were talking about the reunion tour.
Yes.
So exciting to have you all on the couch
So
together.
excited.
And then Mel B does an interview with Piers Morgan, in which he corners her into saying that she claims she had a one-night stand or a few kind of liaisons with Jerry. And then Jerry gets close, and everyone's saying, well, is the tour... Have you missed all this? You've been away.
I may have mentioned it earlier. It may have been the first thing I said.
OK. And so then there was fear that maybe the tour wouldn't happen. So what is the current state of play?
Of course it's happening.
It's all fine.
It's all fine.
And has... So presumably Mel and Jerry have had a chat about this bombshell and have come to some kind of, like...
Yeah, we've all chatted about it.
Yeah.
Listen, we had fun back in the day. I didn't know anything else. But, it's, We're all good. We can't wait. We've all been chatting. It's all good.
But I get the feeling, when you're on the show, it was interesting, because I was looking at the four of you, and when I'd ask a question, one person would answer another.
Yes.
But I got the feeling that you and Mel C are the kind of more... How do I put this politely? Well, the sort of peacekeepers, the more stable members of the group in some way.
I think, you know, we all know each other's characters so well that we deal with each other in different ways. We have different friendships, you know, so we work really well together. That's what's so good about us, I think.
OK, so look, let's talk about your solo stuff, because you were planning this solo before, I guess, before the tour. Back in the studio. Why was it 12 years? Why such a long wait? Was this because you had the kids?
Yeah, I had my first child 12 years ago, and as... I don't want to give too much information, but as I was having Bo, a song was on by the Beatles, Here Comes the Sun. And ever since then, he's kind of said, oh, I'd love to hear you sing that, Mummy, because it's such a special song for us,
wow,
right?
He's got a great memory.
Well, I played it to him over and over again.
Of course.
But he loves the song. So I thought, oh, that'd be a nice kind of stepping stone.
I think your children sing on the album, don't they? Or
they do, yeah.
Both?
So,
Okay,
yeah, both of them are on the album. That's the reason I wanted to do this album, was for them, really, for my children. They're massive music fans.
Would they have a future? Would you encourage them to go into the business? Because presumably they can both sing.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. I don't know. I think we're still, you know, quite far away from that. But, yes, my youngest is very musical, loves dancing, loves drama, loves singing. So we'll see. My eldest is more into sports.
Right.
So, but obviously, I just want to encourage them. I want them to find a passion. That is my main thing.
Yeah.
We kind of do everything, and just find a passion.
Well, speaking of passion, you've been together with your man now for, is it 21 years?
Yeah.
Together with Jay for 21 years. That's quite something, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know.
That's amazing in the music business.
Yeah, in the music business.
And he sings on the album as well, doesn't he?
He sings on the album. We do a duet together, and it was really lovely. But when we were in the studio, we are quite tactile, Jade and I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And this is a passionate tactile, or are you just holding hands a lot? Or...
No, we're quite passionate.
Oh, really? What, so like kissing and stuff?
Yeah.
Even now, after 21 years?
Yeah.
Wow,
I know,
that's weird.
He's adorable. But while we were in the studio, we were kind of singing the song, and then the producer was like, guys, can you get a room? Because it was quite romantic.
But that's what a lovely thing to hear. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Are you romantic?
Oh, you've no idea.
Can you imagine?
Are you in love at the moment?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice.
How lovely. Yeah. That would explain the weight loss and all that.
Yeah. And the travelling and the band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's turning into a teenager. OK, so children singing on it, your partner singing on it.
Yeah.
What about, is your mum allowed to sing on it?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Listen, Mummy Bunton, I love her. I love you. But she's got the worst voice.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. It's like...
What, like just flat or no quality?
No, flat, no tone, like... Just no, just
But most
not
people
good.
who can't sing know they can't sing, so she probably...
No, she tries as well, bless her, yeah, she sings along. And she always gets the words wrong. Like, for years, she used to sing, I really, really, really want to have a good time, instead of zigga zigga.
Wow.
I really, really, really want to have a good... I was like, what are you singing?
That's so sweet.
It's
That's
so
such a mum thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so...
I remember I was at my mum once, and I had Queen, I had We Will Rock You in the car.
She called you Graham Norton.
Well, she doesn't make that mistake. But we were in the car, and it was after we were driving back for Mother's Day. It was a very fond memory, but I'm thinking, why are people of that generation, when they listen to the next music, because she was singing, and she was a bit drunk, I'll admit, it was Mother's Day. She was, we will rock you, waka, waka, rock you. You see, that's not part of the song. Waka, waka, rock you.
I love that. That's so sweet.
Let's have a look at a clip. This is Baby, Please Don't Stop.
You can shake me down, you can wind me up, you can drive me crazy, baby, please don't stop. I'm going out of my head, need to feel your love, but too much can never be enough. So baby, please don't stop. Oh baby, please don't stop. Baby, please don't stop. Oh baby, please don't stop.
Please Don't Stop. That's the new single. It's out right now.
Yes.
The album is called My Happy Place. But you look
Thank
amazing.
you.
So you don't appear to age. You don't appear to get older.
Well, that's very nice of you.
It's
Thank
true,
you.
though, isn't it?
Same with all your guests tonight.
Yeah. yeah.
Also on the album, Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams was on the album.
Okay,
yeah.
and they presumably now Take That they were a big established band before the Spice Girls had their hit. So did you have a crush on any of Take That? Did you like Robbie when you were young?
I used to like Mark. He was cute, I thought.
Mark's the cute
yeah.
one.
And we did used to watch videos of Take That, actually. And we would pick our favourites and then we would copy them and do their dance routines. But, yeah, Mark was my favourite.
But when you were with Robbie, now Robbie said once he'd slept with
Robbie
4
is a very
out of
naughty boy.
the 5 Spice Girls.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you to be specific here, but... Did you draw him up on that comment?
I spoke to him about this, actually, because, you know, we have become friends. He's an amazing guy, very professional. And he asked me to do a duet with him on one of his gigs. So I went along and we sang Two Become One live, and it was amazing, really worked. It was about 3 years ago. And then, so when I was recording this album, I thought, I know, I'm going to get him on the album.
Return the favour.
Yeah, so I emailed him and I just said, listen, Robs, I'd love us to record Two Become One for my new album. You know, fancy doing it. But first of all, you have to stop saying that you've slept with 4 of the Spice Girls out of 5.
Because it's 5 out of 5. I know, it's so cool. Why would he...
I loved his response. He's so adorable. He goes, I know, I keep getting in trouble for that, and I'm sorry. And he was very sweet.
Yeah.
He goes, I think I'm funny sometimes.
He's trying to
and
make
I make a joke, you know. So,
and it's quite a funny, memorable line, but yeah, it's not necessarily good to say. It's a great track on the album. It's called My Happy Place. There's the album. Get yourself a copy of that. And if you haven't got a ticket for the Spice Girls gig, I think you put on some more dates, didn't you?
We have put on some more dates.
So there might be some more available. I know it sold out super quickly.
It did. Yeah, Wembley sold out super quick.
I'm going to come
Manchester.
down. And it's what, a month before the first concert? So
yes.
have you rehearsed? Have you got everything screwed down tight?
We start rehearsing on Monday. And I'm really nervous because I've got the worst memory out of all the girls. So I'm worried that I am not going to remember any of the dance routines. So
hold on, Monday, and you're a month away. I mean, so you haven't started rehearsal
No.
yet? I would have thought you'd been doing it for weeks now.
I know. I think maybe we should have.
That's nervous. I'm feeling nervous on your behalf now.
Yeah, I'm feeling really nervous. It's a big show as well. And but I think we're using a lot of the old dance routines so that everyone can dance along. But yeah, as I said, my memory's terrible, so I'm worried that I'm not going to remember them. Also, I've cracked an ankle on every tour.
Oh, no.
I've fallen over. So I'm a bit, I've kind of got...
What, a different ankle on each tour, or the same one?
Same ankle.
Do you have to be super fit? I mean, if there's dancing in every... How long's the show for? Boy.
It's going to be at least...
Don't look at me, I don't know.
About 2 hours?
2 hours of solid dancing
at the
every night.
stadium.
They haven't rehearsed it, they don't know how long it's going to be.
Or how many songs? Do you know what
it would be? It's
we have got a set list.
I would have thought an hour and a half. People would be happy with an hour and a half.
Yes.
Look, you don't want to outstay your welcome.
Exactly.
No, you know what I mean? It's like...
We always say we want to leave them wanting more.
Exactly.
Exactly.
20 minutes, then.
OK, Emma, lovely to have you back on the show. Thank you so much for coming in.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Emma Bunton. Zigga, zigga, zah. So to come, Samson Kao will be here, the fabulously funny Sarah Pascoe, and we've got music from Mumford & Sons. Don't go away. Welcome back to the show. Let's get my next guest out here. I'm super excited he's on the programme. He's one of the country's brightest new comic actors. It's the supremely talented Mr. Samson Kao, ladies and gentlemen. Sit yourself down, young man.
What's happening?
Well, I'm so excited you're on the show. Your career's taken off very fast, very suddenly.
It's it's mad, isn't it? Whose idea was that?
Yeah, it's really happened. Famalam's on BBC Three, of course. You've got Time Wasters on ITV2. That's a very funny show. And a new show we'll be talking about in a minute, Sliced, on Dave. A film coming up with Idris Elba.
Yeah. Idris.
Holy.
Yeah.
And so when did you think, OK, this is all happening for real now? Was that maybe when you were nominated for a BAFTA?
Yeah, I think it was when I found out I got nominated. And I was getting mad, like...
And this was for Famalam, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was for Famalam. I remember I got the call by the producer, my friend AK. And he's like, bruv, you got nominated. And I was like, ah. And then I rang, my mum was in the other room, and I was like, Mum, I got nominated for a BAFTA. And she's like, Jesus is Lord, oh my God. I started going nuts. She started screaming, praising, and then she was like, what is a BAFTA? And I was like, oh, go to bed, man. You know?
How was that evening? How did she enjoy the night?
It was wicked. She got more interviews than me in her bumblebee dress. She was
Look,
living.
you have a picture, I think, of...
Yeah, she was flexing.
That's a proper formal night out there, isn't it?
Yeah, she loved it, man.
OK, now, by the way, Family Lamb is great. You play a load of great characters. Tell me about Barry Woke, though.
Oh, the Barry White sketch.
Yeah.
That was mad. So he's basically talking about how women are underappreciated in the industry and in the workspace. Yeah. So he's called Barry Woke.
Yeah.
Well, you're woke, innit?
Yeah.
You got beads and that.
Yeah.
No, I'm lit.
Hey, what was that?
Yeah, where'd that come from? OK, let's have a look. This is Samson, as I said, so we all know and love Barry White, but this is like a Barry White for the modern age. This is from Family Lamb.
Yeah.
You know how I feel. That gender pay gap's real. And it makes me feel so angry, baby. Did you know that women are more likely to get interrupted by a man in a meeting? Of course you did. And I just mansplained that to you.
There you go. Barry Woke. Very funny. OK.
Barry Woke.
Were you a Spice Girls fan back in the day?
Yeah.
And did you have a favourite of the Spice Girls?
Come on. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know you was with Jay from Damage. Man, remember Jay from Days of Legend? Yeah, bro. But, yeah. Had a
Who was your favourite then?
You in it? I love Spice Girls. I still remember the lyrics and that.
Do you?
Yeah. Don't even try it.
Come on.
No.
One?
Two become one.
Oh, come on, Samson.
Yeah.
OK, let's have a tiny bit, the two of you. This is a chance. When are you going to get a chance to perform with your favourite Spice Girls,
What's
Samson?
the chorus?
Come a little bit closer.
Nah, come on, man. I got my boys in the audience. This is nuts.
I think your boys would like to hear you do two become one.
No. Come on. Hey.
I need some love like I never needed love before. Wanna make love to you.
Had a lot of love. Now I'm back for more.
Very nice. Listen, I've heard a lot of stories of people, how they get into the business and what inspired them to get into the business and how they first saw it as an opportunity. But yours has got to be one of the most extraordinary stories. Would you tell us this story?
All right, cool. So I was, so when I was like 13, there was this, like police used to stop and search people a lot.
Is this back in Peckham?
I was in Peckham at the time, and people used to stop and search people and stuff. And I remember me and two of my boys, we were just chilling and we was like, if they're going to stop us, we're going to make it hard because we're tired of this. So we said, we're going to run. You have to catch us. And so we got stopped one time and they were like, stay there, boys. Like, nope. And we was gone. So we started legging it. And I remember I got to this pub in Peckham, there's a place called Bellingham Road in Peckham. And there was this man standing outside. I think he was on the phone. And he was like, hey, I'll come in here. And I went in the pub. And he hid me in the pub. And
so he saw you running, thought, I'm going to help this kid
out. He saw me running, he was like, hey, get in here. And it was Bob Hoskins. Yeah. And he's like, sit down in there and just chill off for a bit. And I remember one of my boys ringing me and he was like, where are you, man? I was like, yeah, I got away. Some small white man hid me in a pub. I was like, there's bare cameras in here, though. I might jump in this film, bruv. And then he was like, all right, go on, off you go. And then I legged it, and till this day, I only recently, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I started acting, that I realised it was Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's the man, yeah.
So he was filming, I think it was Last Orders.
Last Orders, yeah.
Which and so what did you think when you're a kid, you went in this pub and suddenly you see lights, you see cameras?
Yeah, I just saw light. I thought he was setting me up, actually, because there was just more white men in there. And I was just like, this is weird. But he was like sitting there, and I just saw the cameras like, I might just sharpen up and
so did you really think, OK, maybe I could have a career?
I mean, it was so close to, where I grew up, East Dulwich, so it was like, it can be that close, then why not?
Yeah, but you still volunteer in your local area, don't you?
Yeah, so I grew up in East Dulwich, and there's an adventure playground called Dockenhill Adventure Playground, and it's like where I kind of honed in a bunch of skills and let out steam and stuff. It's just a safe place for kids in that community to be. And I feel like now, like, with all the madness that's going on, I think it's about time that they pump more money into, like, adventure playgrounds and youth services, because ever since they stopped, I saw, like, the decline of you know, kids falling out of school.
So
and
a lot of the
like
trouble
that.
we see on the streets now,
Yeah.
you think may well be at least linked in some way.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
lack
I
of
mean, there's
funding
a lot more to it, but I feel like we've got to start somewhere, and I feel like that is a safe place for kids to come and kind of nurture these kids and let them go on the right path instead of the wrong.
It must be kind of weird and exciting for them when they see someone who they now know. Presumably they've seen you on Famalam or they've seen you in the other
Yeah,
shows.
yeah. Some of the kids are all right. Some of them are dickheads. One kid came up to one time. I did this thing called Youngers, and one of the kids came up to me and was like, "Oi, you did that Youngers thing, innit? You look fat on telly." I almost tripped him up.
So, Samson, people can watch a new show, Sliced, which is a brand new sitcom which you've co-written.
Yeah.
And you're starting. Oh, so it starts in May on Dave. It's not on just yet. Tell us about this. What's the premise of Sliced?
So it's basically about Joshua. I play Joshua, who's a pizza delivery boy. Down on his luck, and he's not paying rent at home, and his mum's giving him a day to get the rent money, or she's going to kick him out and stuff. So we kind of start on that journey, and I kind of wanted to tell a story, me and Phil, about what happens when you knock on to deliver a pizza, and the story is in the room. So every episode is a new story.
So the premise is he's at home and his mum's saying, "Look, you're kind of working. You're a young man now, not a baby.
Yeah.
You got to pay rent.
Got to pay rent.
You're living at home.
Yeah.
So is it based on the
Yeah,
reality
bits and
there?
bobs. No,
And so is your mum? Did your mum change towards you?
Yeah, back in the day, it was, but now it's all good.
Yeah. OK, let's have a look. This is a clip from Slice. As I said, it starts on Dave in May. It's great fun.
Toasting girls, eh? There are already 8 people living in this house, so I can't even afford you. 3 months you have not paid any rent. Do you think my food is free? You are 30 years old.
I'm 24.
When we're home, you are 30 years old, and all your boxers have holes in them. What kind of a man are you? Joshua, today, you must pay me 150 pounds, or you and your rubbish will sleep outside.
But I'm your son.
Joshua, at 5 years old, you are my son. At 30 years old, you are my tenant. And a 30-year-old who does not pay rent is a burglar.
That's right. Good work. That's right. So it's all happening for you. It must be super exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad at the moment, but I'm excited, isn't it? Yes, Emma.
Yeah. Are you a single man? Or you got a partner at the moment or something?
I'm single at the minute. Yeah. I'm single.
You enjoying that?
Yeah, I'm ready though, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is your mother putting pressure on you? She wants.
Yeah, she went. What did she say to me? She went, oh, yeah, I said to her, happy Mother's Day, because it was Mother's Day. I was like, oh, happy Mother's Day, Mum. She was like, thank you. Find a wife and buy me perfume.
Next time you come back home, will you do me a favour? Bring your mum. I want to meet her.
Yeah, I'll bring her, yeah.
It's great to have you here. Samson Kao, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Samson. Very good, thank you. Still to come on the show, the fabulous Sarah Pascoe, music from Mumford & Sons. See you after the break. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest out. She's a brilliant comedian. I'm thrilled she's on the programme. It's Sarah Pascoe. Emma, Samson. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you for having me. It's so crazy because you're watching TV and then they tell you to come in it.
So Sarah has just finished filming. You've come to the end of the tour and you filmed the last thing at the Palladium.
Yeah.
The tour was called Lads, Lads, Lads.
That's right, yeah.
Which is a great title for a show. Why did you choose Lads, Lads, Lads?
Well, actually, it was a stag do. They were chanting it at a train station while I was crying.
Lads.
Yeah. And it inspired me.
What do we think that means when young men are chanting lads, lads, lads? What is that?
I think it means they're very sad inside and feel very isolated because of toxic masculinity. They can't express their actual affection for each other.
Yes.
They have to get drunk and do those kind of things.
Luckily, I'm deaf, so I can't hear any of it.
So that kind of inspired you, but the show isn't about that evening as such, is it?
No,
What do you cover?
I really wanted to talk about things like weddings. I went to a lot of weddings last year. I made myself do a lot of things for the first time, because I think as an adult, I'm nearly 40, you can start to kind of get into a rut with things. I really wanted to kind of push myself.
So new things?
New things.
Yeah,
I went to a football match. I had my first ever Brazilian wax.
Wow,
I did all these kind of things.
So both of those things...
Really needed it, yeah.
So let's start with the waxing then. So let's dive straight in there.
That's what she said.
Now the Brazilian holder, is that where it's reduced to a kind of like a landing strip?
Why are you looking at me?
Well,
you're a young single man. You know all the new shapes.
I don't really know. But
yeah, it's kind of that.
Small room, they take a lot off.
You're not bald.
Yeah.
You still look like an adult.
Oh, that must be
but
painful.
there's a lot less.
Oh, that must hurt.
It does hurt, yeah. Yeah, it does hurt. It's a very odd thing.
So what did you discover about yourself in the Brazilian scenario?
What did I discover? You have to do small talk with a woman who is doing quite painful and intimate things to you.
And this person presumably does this on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
But the idea is to try and get you chatting to distract you. From anyone who's had a Brazilian will know this. So they might start with something like the weather. This woman started by talking about the Iraq War and our role in that as a country, and her opinion on George Bush, which was ironic, bearing in mind what she was doing.
Well, we think we know where she stands on bushes, yeah.
She eradicates them.
Football, how did you find the football match? So was this another thing where you're thinking, OK, I'm going to a territory...
because, again, I'm really scared of kind of, I guess, big, mainly male groups, and I don't support a football team. I think it's incredible. I think the talent is incredible. It's exciting. But so what I did is I wore a combination of kits. I went to see West Ham versus Liverpool, so I wore, two teams. I wore kind of a West Ham T-shirt, Liverpool scarf and socks, and an Arsenal hat.
Wow.
So that everyone knew that football was the real winner.
Do you do... a lot of comedians I speak to, they cull their family life for material, and you do that as well.
I do. Unfortunately, I can't keep a secret, and I talk about my personal life, which involves other people, and get into a lot of trouble about it.
And so do you have to square up with family members first?
Sometimes, yeah. It's good, out of politeness. We've talked a lot about kind of mums this evening, and mums are amazing because they're so funny without intending to be. And my mum, she is, honestly, she's my hero, and I'm so proud of her. She had me as a teenager. She had 3 children by herself, but she's a cold woman, and she doesn't stop doing things. So, like, when I moved into my new house, she sent me a hammer without a note. Just a hammer in a Jiffy envelope to protect myself from intruders. Just so I could hammer someone to death in case they broke in.
But nice to know she's thinking of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But you have a close relationship with her? You said she's...
I think very, very close. And last year, so both of my sisters are younger than me. They've both got families and they're both married. Cheryl got married last August. And my parents have been divorced for 30 years. My mum decided that his speech at my sister's wedding, she heckled him. Like he's got jet lag, he's flown over from Australia for the wedding. My mum decides now is the time to ask him some questions. And so he stands up, he's very nervous, the paper's kind of shaking in his hand, and he starts by saying how much he loves my sister and how proud he is of her. And then my mum pipes up, then how come he never paid any child maintenance?
Wow.
She's a brilliant woman.
That's amazing. And was that true as well?
Yeah, it's tense, and we're still not really talking as a family. She also wore a white dress to Cheryl's wedding.
No.
She wore a white dress to Cheryl's wedding, and when anyone asked her, like, oh, how come you're wearing white? She went, I paid for it, it's my fucking day.
Now, you've got a new housemate in your life.
I've got a tiny dog, a puppy called Mouse, who I'm so desperately in love with.
Look at that. That is an unbelievably cute dog.
Oh, he's just so adorable.
I mean, we're all thinking how cute, and Clarkson's thinking I'd put that in a bap and eat it.
I was just thinking what a massive cock it's got.
That's a tiny penis, Jeremy.
It's not that big, no. I mean, you think... I don't think it's that big.
Compared to mine. That's a tiny dog.
That is the cutest
He's really lovely. He's a bit bigger than that now. I'm so in love with him.
And what sort of a breed mixing is he?
He's half Jack Russell, half Springer Spaniel, and he's incredible. Do you know what? People have this thing where they call them, like, oh, you've got a fur baby now, you've got a fur baby, which I think is such a stupid phrase because it insinuates you're kind of compensating for not having children. how can you compensate with something that is better? Like, he's so much better than a baby, and I didn't even have to tear my perineum to get him. I just went round to a lady.
And so what are you doing? You're working on a new book, aren't you?
I've just finished my new book. It'll be out in August.
Because your last book, Sarah's last book, I'm sure some of you read it, was called Animal.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an anthropological look at humankind, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was... I wanted to find out about how the female body evolved, because there's lots of really interesting things that are idiosyncratic about human beings in general and the adult human female body. And the next book is much more about kind of pornography and transactional sex, things that I hadn't covered in the first book.
Wow.
But I really... Wow. But I really love... This is the great thing about stand-up. Your days are all free. And so it's so great to kind of research and write in the daytime and then work at night.
But see, you say your days are free, but you're filling it with work.
Yeah, and a puppy.
Yeah.
That was him on my second draft.
Oh, wow.
That's what he was sounding on.
Sarah, I'm so pleased we finally got you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having
the
me.
fabulous Sarah Pascoe, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. OK. Now, you know, we normally end the show with music, and, of course, Mumford & Sons will be performing for us at the end of the programme. Before we hear from them, we thought we'd have a quick chat with a couple of them. Will you please welcome Marcus Mumford and Winston Marshall? Come and sit down. So, Marcus, Winston, thank you for coming on the show. We're going to perform the full band in a minute over there. But, Marcus, of course, I think everyone knows this, who loves the band, but, of course, Mumford & Sons, they are, of course, not your sons.
Agreed.
Is that a band title, a name that you have grown to regret over?
Yeah. And we've said that publicly many times. It's a stupid band name. But band names in themselves are just stupid.
But that one's silly in that.
Particularly stupid. You're right. Yeah.
But when I first saw you, I thought that's how nice that this man's got in business with his sons. I mean, I felt a little bit cheated when I found out.
We toured with the Mystery Jets, who had their dad in the band for a while. The idea of a family business was sort of at the core of it, but band names are stupid, man.
So what would you have called the band, Winston, if you'd been asked first?
Marshall & Sons.
I don't know if all of you were, but I know Winston in particular. Were you all Spice Girls fans when you were younger, mate?
We were. Winston in particular.
Winston was a man.
I was a massive fan.
Oh, my...
I had a T-shirt collection.
Oh.
I collected Spice Girls T-shirts, and my mum managed to find the prize piece.
No way.
Which I wanted to show you.
This is
She's very excited, by the way.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at this. I think it was a bootleg.
That is amazing.
Fantastic.
That looks like it's going to go up in flames with any friction.
Oh, my goodness.
That's one of the worst-looking shirts I've seen in my life.
How dare you?
No, you all look great on it, but what's going on with the sleeves?
I kind of like it. It's really retro.
Also, let's make Jerry and Mel B kiss.
Again.
Don't leave me out.
OK, let's have a look at this. This is Mumford & Sons' fourth album, ladies and gentlemen. It's out now. Look at this. It's so nice to have Vantage over this. Look at that. Double album.
Oh, yeah.
Delta. And it's not a change in direction so much, but it's a change in style. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think so. We get pretty bored pretty quickly. So we like to move on.
So this isn't... So the sound that when people think of they associate with you is that kind of like more sort of twangy, banjo-y country sound. Not country, but, you know, and you're kind of moving away from that.
Still there. Can't get rid of him. He plays the banjo.
Yeah. And very well.
Yeah, very well. But no, yeah, I think we're trying to, you know, like all bands do, try and change our vibe a little bit.
But in a way, I guess you get trapped, do you not, in a certain kind of area because people...
I think you're always a couple years ahead of your audience, so you have to be gracious, I think. You have to kind of approach it like there's people who might expect a certain thing of you. I mean, you must know this really well, but there's people who might expect a certain thing of you, but you also want to get out what's naturally coming out of you at the time.
Yeah.
And then you've got to record it, and then you've got to promote it and tour it, and you need to kind of give a couple of years for people to catch up.
But by the time you're touring, I guess you've moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Because that's the year and a half behind, but it's new to us.
Yeah, the new demos are pretty, they're pretty weird.
Pretty rad.
Rad? Oh, nice.
I know what I'm doing now.
Clarkson's got no idea what's happening.
Totally different language.
What song are you doing tonight?
We're going to sing Beloved, and we're going to sing it with Yebba and the Staves, who are two of our
Beloved with Yebba and the Staves. Do you need any help? Because Sarah used to play ukulele back in the day.
I didn't bring it.
We know Samson's got a fine voice.
Jeremy said his beads.
Yeah, he's going to twirl.
I'll tell you what. Thank you so much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus and Winston from Mumford & Sons. Guys, if you'd like to go over and get some ready for perform, thank you so much for coming on. Not again. That's a great T-shirt. Thanks to the boys and thanks to all my guests tonight. Of course, the fabulous Sarah Pascoe, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Samson Kao, the one and only Emma Bunton, and, yes, I love him, Jeremy Clarkson. There he is. Join me again next week, but now, with beloved, it's Mumford & Sons.
Enthroned in wild grandeur, but tired, shift, a whisper waves so ahead from your eyes. I've never seen you unkempt before. As you whispered, darling, close the door. Well, how have I not made a note of every word you ever said? Time is not on our side, but I pretend that it's all right. She says the Lord has a plan, but admits it's pretty hard to understand. Before you leave, you must know you are beloved. Before you leave, remember I was with you.
Are you afraid? However, could you not be in this rosy light? This is strange. I feel a hand come through the mirror, pointing at the light.
Pointing at the light we never see, as you put your feathered arms over me. And before you leave, you must know you are beloved. And before you leave, remember I was with you. And as you leave, I won't hold you back, beloved. We'll sit and talk, stars down from the sky, down our